Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. And after pulling both the LR Kaioken Goku and the LR Grey Ape Vegeta in one ticket, which by the way was mad, and don't forget the God Goku as well, that was such a mad ticket summon. By the way, hopefully your ticket summons went well as well, and you got what you wanted. Of course we've got to do a showcase, and the first one we're doing on is, as much as it pains me to say, the better out of the two units, which is the LR Kaioken Goku. By the way, look at this art, man. This art slaps. I mean, this part is dope, but I love the shading. I love the aura. This art just looks so nice. Like, Kaioken, just all in all, just looks good. We're going to be running on the Kamehameha team. We're going to be running... I will level up this Goku and Gohan before we start, don't worry. The reason why they're here is because they share, pretty sure, 5 out of 7 links with him. So we're going to run that as a rotation. But they're going to run one rotation and get the support with this Xeno Goku for the Goku's family support to see how he does with that. Then linking up in a more realistic rotation, we're going to have him with the version Z update Goku, who's a pretty good unit, free to play unit in harder events. But of course also has built-in support of attack and defense plus 30%. And then we're going to run that as a rotation and then have the actual support from the Xeno Goku. And then of course get his active off, all those type of things, face a Vegeta enemy, see how he does there. And then we're going to do it all again against a non-Vegeta enemy. So make sure you got some snacks, and a drink. Strap in, because it's probably going to be a longer one. If you do have Kaioken Goku, do let me know down in the comments how you find him, what you think of him. And don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you are new.
Even the lowest born can outdo the elite if they work hard enough.
Okay guys, here we are, and what better place to be facing a Vegeta unit all the time than in, of course, the Vegeta event. So since we are facing a Vegeta enemy, or an enemy whose name includes Vegeta, we will have Ki plus 3 and an extra attack plus 70% for the rest of the battle. Which is crazy considering how good this guy's damage output is. And we actually have a pretty good start in rotation, if I do say so myself. So we're going to start off like this. We do have the majority of our links active. He mainly does have key links, by the way. Which, to be fair, you're hardly ever going to be struggling to get the 18 key off with this guy, which is actually a good thing. Because on 18 key, he does massively raise attack and defense by 100%. So you're always going to be getting that off. So as a slot 2 unit, this guy can work great. Even as a slot 3 unit as well. But yeah, we have Kamehameha active, Z Fighters, and Legendary Power being the important ones. The rest of them are all key links. Saiyan Lineage, Over in a Flash, Shattering the Limit, and Shocking Speed. This guy's never going to struggle with key, as I said. And I'll get into more of that in a moment. Why? We've also got the attack and defense plus 30% support from this Goku right now as well. With no key spheres and almost all the links active and that support, we're on a 313k attack stat and 123k defense. For now, we'll have these guys, of course, on rotation with them. So we don't have that extra support that the version Z update Goku has while having the majority of the links. There's all the strength key spheres, and we're already up to a 627k attack stat after getting, what, 6-7 orbs? I mean, to be fair, I don't mind if Vegeta does a bit of damage, because we do need to lose some damage to, of course, at one point get his active skill off, which the active skill conditions aren't actually too bad. It can be activated when your HP is 59% or less, which is okay. I mean, in harder events, that shouldn't really be an issue getting off. But with all that, we're on a 9.5 million attack stat, which is kind of crazy. Of course, that's the additional attack plus 70% because we're facing a Vegeta enemy. We're also getting supered. Yeah, 95 damage. That's because we massively raised our attack and defense on the 18. And also we're facing the first phase of the Vegeta event, but still. Literally. Even without the 30%, that's still what? 9 mil just under it? Which is crazy. As I said, this guy's damage output is honestly insane. But in terms of everything else he does, he is an all-out struggle or final trump card category lead, giving key plus 4. The HP and attack and defense plus 150. On 12 key, he does raise attack and defense by 30% and causes mega colossal damage to the enemy. Which, as I said, considering how easy this guy gets key, especially against Vegeta enemies, you're probably hardly ever going to be getting his 12 key off. So does it really matter what it does? As I've already mentioned, on 18 key, he does massively raise attack and defense by 100% and causes mega colossal damage to the enemy while sacrificing 4% HP, which obviously the sacrificing 4% HP of course makes a lot of sense because of course Kaioken, the way it works in the manga and the anime, Goku uses it, strain on the body, those type of things. But losing 4% HP, I mean, in the grand scheme of things of how much health we have nowadays of like 600-700k, not going to do a dent. And to be fair, we've already got the active ready. Literally no turn restriction. We've already got the active ready because we're below 59% HP. I said that's going to be very easy to get that off in harder events. Considering how hard Super Battle Road can hit now, and ESBR and multiple enemies being able to hit you and super attack you, it's going to be very easy to get that off. Very, very easy to get that off. But we're going to leave you here. So I want to see what you can do without the support. So with no support, just with most of his links active, we have a 282k attack stat on 107k defense. That Z Fighters link is such a good link to have active, but just not many good units have it. Like the version Z update Goku's good, but in harder content where you want to be taking the Kaioken Goku, you're going to have to be careful in trying to keep the version Z update Goku alive, or just not get that link off, which won't be a detriment too much considering how much attack this Goku does get. But it's kind of a big link to miss out on of attack plus 15%, but at least Kamehameha is quite a common link. And then with how good a lot of the legendary, or sorry, the LR units are nowadays, legendary power is also pretty easy to get off. So it's not a huge detriment, but it's quite an annoying link to get off. But in terms of that 4% HP sacrifice, I mean, is it really a sacrifice when literally by picking up all the strength orbs, and my guy is a strength orb changer, you're just going to make that all back and then some, you know, after losing it, so, or when you lose it. So it's not really that much of an issue. How much are we putting out without the support? We're still putting out an 8.6 mil. Yeah, just under 9 million. 8.6 million attack stat. And he just pulled it out like that. Just like that. But in terms of his passive, of course, you already know what we're getting because we're facing a Vegeta enemy. Ki plus 3 and attack plus 70% for the rest of the battle, which actually isn't too difficult to get off considering how many pure Saiyans units and enemies there are in the game, and then you think how many may be Vegeta. That's not that uncommon to get off, and considering there's a whole event based around Vegeta, yeah, it's not too difficult to be getting off, is it? It's not too hard to be getting off in the slightest. But in terms of his actual kind of standard passive that he always gets, he gets attack and defense plus 100%. Ki plus 7 for 7 turns from the start of turn, which is why I'm saying he'll never be struggling for Ki. Even when that goes, he's probably hardly ever going to be struggling for Ki, along with the fact he has many Ki links, he's getting Ki in his passive. I mean, if you're not facing a Vegeta enemy and you're past 7 turns, there may be times here and there that if orb placement is really against you, you may be like a 1 key or 2 keys short of getting the 18 Ki off. But I don't really see that happening all too often, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah, he does get Ki plus 7 for 7 turns, and considering how good this guy's going to be in the likes of Super Battle Road, you're never going past 5 or 6 turns, which means you're hardly ever going to have to worry about losing that Ki plus 7, which means you're always, as I said, going to be getting the 18 Ki, more importantly, massively raise your attack and defense for 1 turn, so you're doing maximum amount of damage you possibly can, and also having pretty decent defense for the rest of the turn. Because not only is he going to massive raise attack and defense on 18 Ki, he does get an additional attack and defense plus 59% performing a super attack, which is multiplicative, and then gets an additional attack plus 59% if it's an ultra super attack, which, as I've already stated, you're hardly ever going to be struggling to get his 18 Ki off, which means you're always probably going to be getting that additional attack plus 59% when you perform an ultra super attack. It's just the way it is. So now we have all these links and the support from the Xeno Goku. We're on a 324k attack stat and 128k defense. Yeah, we'll give you these 4 orbs. We need to start taking some more damage again soon so we can get his active ready. And how much are we putting out? So this is basically going to be a little bit, yeah, 9.9 million. I was about to say that's going to be a little bit more than when we were on rotation with version Z update Goku and the Goku and Gohan that's given us majority of Kaioken Goku's links. As I've already said, he's a strong independent Saiyan. He randomly changes Ki spheres of a certain type and changes them to strength Ki spheres. And on top of that, he has a high chance, which is a 50% chance of performing a critical hit on top of that. So you're putting out 8-9 million attack stats willy-nilly like it's nothing, and you've got a 50%, even at 55% in the dupe system, a 50% chance to crit built into his passive, which means you're doing even more damage. And the reason why I would love at least 1 dupe in his Kaioken Goku is, could you imagine if he had a dupe in it and you hit an additional super? So you hit an 8 to 9 million attack stat on a super. You massively raise your attack and defense for 1 turn. You then hit an additional super, and then you massively raise your attack and defense again you would easily be over the 10 million range. Easily. And not only that, his defense will be a lot more secure for the rest of that turn, which is also a big help in harder content like Super Battle Road, where he's going to be very useful, because not only is he going to do big damage, get you through it a bit quicker, you won't go past 7 turns. I said, when you're in Super Battle Road, you hardly ever go past 5 or 6 turns. This Goku will help you do it quicker, because he's going to be doing so much damage, so you're never going to lose the 7+ key. You're always going to massive ratio attack and defense, which makes him a bit more defensively safe, especially with an item like a Whis or something. And then when you use it active, if you get his active off, which you probably easily will be able to do, because again, it's only when your HP is 59% or less, not only will he greatly raise his attack temporarily and cause ultimate damage, but he will stun for 1 turn as well, which in ESBR is very handy. I mean, if they're not dead, he'll stun the enemy, which is pretty handy on missing out on some damage, but they'll most likely be dead anyway. If it was an AoE, of course, that would work a bit better, but obviously it's not going to be one. So we have the version Z update Goku back, which we're now going to keep on rotation, because this is kind of a more realistic rotation you're going to be running this Kaioken Goku on. We actually gave him quite a bit of orbs there. So now we're permanently going to have the attack and defense plus 30%. I want to get the rotation off with the version Z update Goku and the Xeno support. See, even without all of his links active, in fact, it's the majority of links active, to be fair, and attack and defense plus 30%, he's still putting out a 9.5 million attack stat and hitting a 7 mil crit. The last rotation I want before we use his active is the version Z update Goku with Xeno Goku and hit him with that double support, just because realistically, if you were to run him on main rotation, you would run him with version Z update Goku. So why not see the lengths he can get to with kind of 2 sets of support? Okay, so we have the double support rotation. As I said, this is probably going to be a little bit of a longer video, so I hope you got some snacks and you're well locked in, because we still need to take him against a non-Vegeta based enemy. So with both sets of support, by the way, I did die because the Goku and Gohan got us killed, but it's okay, it made this a bit easier. We have a 355k attack stat, 144k defense. The only links we're missing are key links, double support. What is my guy Kaioken Goku going to be putting out? So after picking up 6 orbs, of course, going to be getting that 18 key. We're on a 711k attack stat, 144k defense. It is going to be well over 10 mil, isn't it? It's going to be well over 10 million, isn't it? This guy's damage output is ridiculous. His defense is okay as well. It's not the best, but yeah, 10.8 million attack stat. His damage output is ridiculous. Like, his defense, as I said, after supering is okay. You know, if you get a dupe in him and you hit an additional, this guy's going to be performing great. Like, I would love to have a dupe in him, but definitely not going in with stones after getting him off a ticket. But, you know, he can still be caught with an item after supering. He should be fine. But I reckon early stages of Red Zone, this guy could probably do a bit. Like, he could do some damage. He could actually probably take down the enemy quick enough in the early stages of Red Zone. Definitely not the latter ones. Definitely not Broly or Shenron. In the early stages, he could probably kill him quick enough, along with some of the other better units he can run with, without him getting you killed and using items. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so we have the active, which we're gonna pop. We have the attack and defense plus 30% from the versions of the update Goku. We have almost every single link active. Actually, before I do that, I got remember to make sure to put the sound on.
That's a spirit bomb. You gotta hit him with that. You have to. There it is. Here goes nothing. Knock it back, Gohan. The ball won't hurt you if there's no evil in your heart.
As I said earlier, if you can get that active off in ESBR, you will do so much damage, and if the enemy doesn't die, he'll be stunned, which is huge. So now, because we use the active, we've greatly raised our attack for 1 turn, or temporarily, shall I say. We're on a 684k attack stat, 196k defense. So with the active skill boost, the links with versions of the update Goku, the extra attack and defense plus 30%, how much is he doing on this super after the active? 9.5 million. Which is, of course, very nice indeed. So that's how Kaioken Goku does against a Vegeta enemy. Now to see how he does against a non-Vegeta enemy. Okay, so we're in the Goku event. This time we're getting no extra key plus 3 or attack plus 70%. So right now, it's just the attack and defense plus 100% we get at the start of turn, the additional attack and defense plus 59% when forming a super attack, and the additional attack plus 59% if it is an ultra super attack. And then, of course, the massively raised attack and defense by 100% we're getting on 18. So as you can see, as I said, even though we don't have the key plus 3, we're still in a good spot. Yes, we're still getting key plus 7 for 7 turns, so maybe once that runs out, you may start to struggle for key here and there. But because he does change random key spheres of any type to strength key spheres, then I'm not so sure. Yes, we'll miss out. So technically, we would still be over the 12 key mark. And then with him making his own orbs, I still feel like getting your 18 key off with this guy would be very easy after he even loses the key plus 7. So with the majority of all of his important links active without the extra support from the versions of the update Goku and no attack plus 70% for facing a Vegeta enemy, we are on a 209k attack stat and 107k defense, and then after getting some orbs on a 24 key, we're on a 418k attack stat and of course 107k defense, which I have to say is still pretty good. And don't forget, this is all at 55%, 6.3 mil. Again, at 55% without having his extra attack plus 70% for facing a Vegeta enemy, that's still pretty good. 6 mil is still pretty good. And that's not even the usual rotation you'd run him on. Like, I literally bought, as I said, that Goku and Gohan purely so I could see what he was doing numbers-wise on a rotation like what you get with versions of the update Goku, but without the added support of attack and defense plus 30%. So just over 6 mil without the added support of the LR versions of the update Goku, without the extra attack plus 70% against a Vegeta enemy. Just over 6 mil is still pretty good. Again, this is all at 55%. And he also, don't forget, has that 50% chance of performing a crit, which means he still could have done ridiculous amounts of damage. I think he actually still hit a crit anyway. But that's still pretty good. That is still pretty good. Even in like Super Battle Road, where you're not always going to be facing, of course, a Vegeta enemy, this guy's still going to be putting out good damage. Very good damage. Not only that, again, if you do get down to the 59% HP threshold, which again is very easy to do in harder content, like it is, constantly hitting his active skill and then doing as much damage as he can do, along with also stunning if the enemy doesn't die, is so valuable. So valuable. Will he be able to handle a long event? I reckon he could. He wouldn't be as good in it as, say, for example, an SBR where you're trying to get in and out as quick as possible. But as a floater, I reckon, again, if you're using your items right, you know, just to be safe if there's multiple attacks in the third slot, I reckon Goku could actually survive, and he'd be doing a lot of damage on top of that as well. So I reckon he could still do well in a longer event, just not as good as like Super Battle Road. And again, as long as you're kind of working your items around him when you need them to, and on type advantage phases, on fizz phases, this guy would be decimating. Okay, versions of the updates Goku is with us, a bit more of a realistic rotation for him, so that extra attack and defense plus 30% as well. We're on a 240k attack stat, 123k? Yeah, 123k defense. I'm going to use this just in case, because I'm going to leave him in slot 1. I do need to take damage, but I don't want to die. So, yeah, it's probably for the best. We're up to a 481k attack stat. Now we're going to find out what we're putting out on Super. I'm not going to lie, if you supered me now, that actually would probably help out a little bit, but never mind. 7.3, that's still really good. This is, as I said, this is more of a more realistic rotation you'll run him on, so you're always getting that attack and defense plus 30% support, which defensively is going to help him out very nicely, especially once he's super attacked, if you're not running Kaioken Goku as a floater. But still, just over 7 mil without having the additional attack plus 70% for facing a Vegeta enemy, that's still incredibly good. And again, at 55% as well, this is why Kaioken Goku is one of the best yellow coin LRs in the game. Easily. Okay, we've got the rotation back, we've got the support, we've got the dual support, we've got the links. We've already seen what kind of attack stat we're, of course, up to. In fact, do we gain any links from this guy? I'm pretty sure we don't. Yeah, no, we don't. Gives you all of these. Double sets of support, 565k attack stat. How much is he putting out on Super? let's have a look and then we'll wrap this video up. 8.6 mil. So as I said, even when you're not facing a Vegeta enemy, he's still putting out some very, very good offensive numbers. But the limits he can get to when you are facing a Vegeta enemy is just honestly ridiculous. Honestly ridiculous. As I said, this Kaioken Goku, LR Kaioken Goku is easily one of the best gold coin LR in the entire game. Or yellow coin LRs, whatever you want to say, gold or yellow coin LRs, whichever. He's easily one of the best in the game. It's a shame my boy don't quite match up, but of course we'll be doing a showcase on him soon. So before, do let me know what you think about LR Kaioken Goku down in the comments. I said this was going to be a little bit of a longer one, but so much to test out. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next video, guys, and push!